Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Tonight we are reviewing The Chi Season 4 Episode 2, Coolie High. Ooh, child, let me tell y'all something. Don't watch The Chi before you gotta go to bed, okay? Because it's so triggering, so sad, so traumatizing that, oh my goodness, honey, all the characters are taking all kinds of different twists and turns, and I'm just like, oh Lord, no. Child, if you are here for the first time, then welcome. I'm sorry to be rude. Welcome. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of an entertaining twist. This is actually my first time doing a scripted show, so y'all hang in there with me. All right, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. So when the episode first opens up, we see Emmett sleeping, and we see Tiff and him having an argument, right? Well, we don't know he's sleeping yet, but they're having an argument in this scene, and we come to find out that he's having a nightmare about him being caught having sex with Dominique. Now, I'm gonna need him to come on because I hope they don't drag this storyline out for weeks and weeks and weeks. Let's let them get into it if they gonna get into it, okay? So then she shook him and woke him up, right? He's like, oh, I'm okay. And she's like, what's wrong with you? And he was like, I was having a nightmare. She was like, oh, as you should, because you eat hot Cheetos before bed, okay? Moving on. Then we see Kevin in the next scene having an argument with his mom about coming in the house drunk. And she talking about, well, you shouldn't be self-medicating. Ma'am, I don't know what kind of black mama you are, but honey, let me have come in the house with even Listerine on my breath, and I wasn't even supposed to be brushing my teeth that morning. Honey, them teeth would have been knocked out. You talking about some self-medicating. This little boy is screaming for help, acting grown, having sex, spending the night, okay? Not coming home, cussing all up and through this scene. Child, if you don't get a handle on your child. And then she's like, well, you don't need to self-medicate. Dre over there speaking her speech. And then they're arguing with him back and forth. And she's like, next time, I'm going to take your TV, your game, and I'm going to give you a flip phone. Well, honey, call him flip phone shawty, okay? Because I don't think nothing working. And I hope they're not trying to turn Kevin's character into Ronnie. We don't need another drunk just scrambling up and down the street, falling out and doing all kinds of things to end him up in jail. Let's please get Kevin's character on the straight and narrow. Child, he want to be a problem child so bad. Anyway, so they talk about him going to see colleges, but he said, I'm not excited. And his mom was like, he's not excited because everything they did in college, they already doing it in high school. He was like, yeah, that part. That's when I would have popped him right then. Honey, I don't like no back talk. I would have been like, you need to be a kid as long as you can, okay? Child, he do everything like a grown person except lived in his own apartment, honey. Child, spending the night, cussing, having sex, drinking, smoking. Honey, I still don't cuss in front of my parents, and I'm 38. One time I tripped up and accidentally said something about my son. I said, he knows he's lying. And honey, my heart started beating so fast. Honey, I don't even say lying in front of my parents. Now, I know this is scripted, but, oh, child, why we got to take them in that direction? Anyway, he got mad because Keisha was eating up all the snacks, okay? And is it me, or is it like their new house is so dreary and dark? When they lived in the other place, you could see a little sunlight coming through. I mean, something. I just feel like this house is just, it's a larger home, don't get me wrong, but it just seems so dark. Oh, it's so depressing. Then in the next scene, we see Jada, and she's getting ready for a reunion, right? And Stella doesn't know if she wants to take the masseuse, Mr. Magic Fingers, with her or not, for fear that people will talk about them, okay? So she doesn't know if she wants to do that or not. In the next scene, we see Trig, and he's thinking about Jake and what happened. He's over there making some sugar grits, okay? He's thinking about everything that the cop did. And him and Imani talk about it, and she said, look, you did what you had to do. He said, yeah, but that was just a temporary fix. And then she goes over and she's like, I don't like no sugar in my grits. And he's like, I made you a separate pot. Now listen, this is where we got to pause for the cause. This is the great debate. Do you eat sugar in your grits or not? I know what I do, but I want to know what y'all do. Okay, because me, I'm a butter, salt, and pepper kind of girl. Don't put no sugar in my grits. I don't want no sweet grits. Okay, I might mix a little grape jelly in my grits when I eat them and whatnot, but I don't want no sugar. So I just want to know, comment down below, do you put sugar in your grits or no? All right, y'all, that's just something that came into my mind. I just want to know how y'all feel about it. Okay, so then we see Emmett, paranoid behind, making some cereal. Child, he gonna scare his own self to death. So Tiff's still the weed woman, okay, and she's on her way to the studio to make a drop, but he don't want her to go because he said they actually are about that life that they rap about. And she was like, oh, no, I'm not going to see them, and I'm cool anyway. I'm a grown woman. He was like, no, that studio is dangerous. And so Tiff tells him, it's this artist named Treasy. And he was like, well, she always rapping about how ninjas ain't ish. And she was like, because y'all ain't. I'm just saying, okay? So then he said, well, maybe she just attract ain't ninjas, okay? And she was like, well, everybody can't be as lucky as me, honey. And he's sitting there staring into the abyss. You should feel guilty. I hope it eats away at you until you explode. So, Tiff, child, listen. When she finds out, she gonna burn that apartment to the ground, honey. Do y'all hear me, honey? Ooh, I hope he come clean soon. But we're gonna keep on getting into it as we get into it. So over there, Jake is ready to go on his college tour. This scene right here really got to me. I shed a few tears, but you always gonna cry when you watch The Chi. If you don't cry when you watch The Chi, then I don't know why, honey. It's just a little Dr. Seussical the musical for y'all tonight, okay? So Jake is getting ready to go on a college tour, and so he finds some condoms on his bed. So Imani was like, those condoms, I put those in there, not for you to go buck wild when you go on a college tour, but just so that you'll be protected, right? So then his brother comes in and asks if he, still wants to go on the tour, because he said, listen, if you don't want to go, you don't have to, especially after what happened to him with the whole police brutality thing, right? So he said, listen, you don't have to be strong all the time. Child, y'all listen to me. He said, yeah, I do. Oh my goodness, child. Oh my, I just cried and cried and cried. Lord, why do our people got to carry the world on our shoulders? Why do our young men have to be scared and strong at the same time? Like, this is just too much for these kids. Oh my God. Oh, child. Oh my goodness. So then he told his brother he loved him, and he said, I loved you. I love you too. Now listen, this scene right here really struck a chord in me, because he's not allowed to be a kid. He's been through so much from season 1 up until season 4. And now he's having to be this tough guy. And I know internally and mentally he's struggling, but he can't even struggle because he feels like he has to be strong. Child, this is just too much, honey. Too much for TV. On the other side, we see Gemma. Oh my goodness, she gets on my nerves, honey. So Gemma and Kevin are on the bus, sitting in the same seat, honey. She over there acting grown, making a video about her life's plan. So then she pans over to Kevin, and she's like, so what are your plans for the future? And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, I can't air that. He was like, why? She's like, we're going to look like we're not equal, like unequally yoked. Girl, if you don't. Okay, honey, she's just a kid, child. She gets on my nerves, honey. I know you want to fight the power and whatnot, but I'm going to need you to hush, okay? Just for a second. Just zip that lip for just a minute. So then there's a police that comes by with the sirens on, right? And so the boys have a flashback because they saw a cop. Then a girl comes to sit with Jake of the Caucasian persuasion, okay? And because earlier Kevin was like, Jake, how's your arm feeling? He was like, oh, I'm good, bro. Doctor said it'll be off in a few days. The cast will be off in a few days. I'm good. I'm healing good. Right? So then the little Caucasian girl comes sit down, and then she's like, oh my God, how do you feel? And he's like, oh, the doctor said it's going to be on here for a few months. And I mean, it just hurts so bad. Jake, honey, leave her alone. Okay? No, sir. She was like, I'm so proud of you and everything that you've been doing. And, and Black Lives Matter to me. Okay, girl. We see Keisha at her job being micromanaged, okay, by the manager of the century, honey, all up and on her back. She's working over at the thrift store. And she runs into her old friend Sid, right? So they talk awkwardly for a minute. And then Keisha, directed her in the directions of the bags because she was looking for the purses, right? And as I was watching this scene, I was just thinking, man, Keisha has such big plans before that psycho rapist came in and changed the entire course of her life. Like, oh my goodness, this is just too much. In the next scene, we see Douda and Rosalind, right? And they're walking in the hospital looking at the video of Jake being attacked. So Gemma's daddy is on the team. And at first I was looking like, is that Gemma's daddy? Because he's trying to get the Olympics over there, child. That's all he care about. So he's talking to him about, not letting his past dictate his future. And he was like, my past made me who I am. And he's like, with the help of me. He was like, I'm the HNIC. Okay, the head ninja in charge. I'm like, okay, Mr. Clark, free Mr. Clark, free Mr. Clark. Honey, you better tell him. So anyway, so he goes in. He said, listen, I handle this by myself. He goes into the officer's room, right? And he said, well, you got all the security. You scared? He said, should I be? He said, did you do something wrong? He said, is this how it's going to be? Every time something happens, then the goons going to come out and attack me? He said, are you accusing me of doing something illegal? He said, well, you know, mayors do tend to do that. He said, not this one. Okay, okay, well, we're just going to erase the other seasons that you were in, and we're going to just erase those. Because he said, not this one, honey. He said, listen, you do realize you're my subordinate, right? And so he was like, I was attacked. You were not attacked, okay? You went over there, asked his boy for his ID for no particular reason. He said no. You got mad. You attacked him and threw him to the ground. And so he said, I asked him for his ID. But why, Gomer Pyle? Why did you ask him for his ID? Why did you need that? For what? Oh, okay. Child, anyway. So he said, judging from the tape, he said, I asked him and I was talking to him and everything. He said, well, judging from the tape, it wasn't no talking. He said, and judging from this file, it says you have a lot of run-ins with young black boys. So he said, I've been on the force for 18 years. I'm bound to have a few complaints. He said, are you a bad cop, Officer Rivas? He said, huh? He said, are you a bad cop? Honey, answer the question. He said, I'm a war vet that fought, and I have a wife and 4 boys, and every time I leave the house, they wonder if I'm coming back home. Well, honey, welcome to our world, okay? We can go to the corner store, don't know if we coming back. We can go to the mailbox, don't know if we're coming back. We can have an accidental knock on the door and open it for the wrong person. Don't know if we're coming back. Welcome to being black. Child, this is going to trigger me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue these reviews, honey, because I don't want to be putting too much negativity out into the atmosphere, honey. So y'all just let me know if y'all want me to keep going, because quiet as it's kept, I really am not feeling the shy, honey. I need to stick with my silly little reality shows, because they going to get on my nerves. I can already tell. So he comes out to a protest, and Douda, he comes out of the hospital and there's a protest going on, right? And he lets them know that racist cops will not be tolerated and he is no longer on the force. So Rosalind don't like him speaking out of turn. She wants him to run things by her. Candy, honey, enough. In the next scene, we see Maisha and Papa, and they're creating a closet sound studio for Papa's podcast, right? I'm like, okay, Papa, go on, get your podcast on, okay? So he said he keeps thinking about the run-in with the cops. So Maisha said, you know what, if we keep talking about it, then maybe, it'll stop or we can put an end to it. He said, yeah, because pretty soon my podcast is going to be big. It's going to be all over the world. And she was like, oh, okay, so who's your first guest going to be? He said, Van Jones. Child, not Van Jones. Papa. So she said, boy, Van Jones ain't coming over here. You dream big, Papa, okay? You dream big. Let me tell you something. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. Y'all know what happened to me one time? This is a little bit of a sidebar. When I first told someone very close to me and my family what my dreams were, they told me, oh, you dream too big. And you know what? I ain't stopped dreaming since, okay? Whatever you believe you can achieve with hard work, prayer, and I'm just saying, you put the work into your faith, honey, it's gonna come to pass. Don't let these people talk you out of your dream, honey. And I was a little shocked with Maisha, and he was like, I thought you were supposed to be my Coretta. She was like, well, that doesn't mean I can't be honest with you. And he was like, well, I DM'd him and he responded, so I'm thinking he coming up over here. Child, go on, girl. Then we see the prison gates open. Okay, Jason Weaver on the scene. Okay, so it's gonna get a little bit interesting because Jason brings something. Okay, when he comes on the scene, he's a little bit of an overlooked actor, but he does bring a little something. Got a little voice on him too. Y'all remember when he was singing for Chingy in the back? Every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back, telling me I need you in my life. Y'all remember that? When Jason was singing in the background, honey? So anyway, so he comes out and Tree goes to pick him up. And then he starts looking at that G-Wagon, right? And he was like, when this come out? Here go Tree, about a while ago. When exactly did it come out, boy? What is about a while ago? Did it come out last month? Did it come out last year? Child, who is writing this season, honey? The writers is crazy. We see Rosalind, child, sitting there scowling as she's watching television, okay? And they're talking about when Douda actually made his statement about the police, right? And she's looking crazy because he fired the cops. So she said the neighborhoods are at war. And she said when he came in, she was like, look, don't fire any more police officers without consulting me. And he said, I got to go with my gut. She said, don't let your gut get you killed. He said, is that a threat? Oh, honey, child. Oh, child. Oh, not the couple is fighting, honey. I don't know if Rosalind is for or against her husband. Child, are you a Perry or nah? Girl, what is wrong with you? So she said, no, I'm trying to protect you. He said, I just tell the truth and so I'm good in every hood spot. Honey, he said, you ain't got to protect me, okay? Shout out to Drake, honey. I'm going in. Child, you don't have to protect him. That's what he's saying. He's letting it be known. Look, wherever he go up and through the shy, he going to be good. But, honey, how good is he going to be? Child, let's just keep going. Over at the college, Gemma is running that mouth yet again, talking about getting away from her dad and all the things she's going to do in college. So then she starts talking about how college is a scam and people go to college just to get a good job, to make money that they can't enjoy because they accrue so much debt, to never be able to enjoy the money. So why even go to college? And then she said some of the richest people don't go to college. And she said they don't have college degrees. And he was like, who? Like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates? And she's like, yeah. Oh, okay. And he's like, so what are the chances of me being a Steve Jobs? And she's like, why are you getting mad at me? He said, I just want you to stop talking. Agreed. Now listen, I do kind of, a little bit agree with Gemma, okay? Because I do feel like times are so different now. And I do feel like you can make a go of it without a college education. And it is, the system is designed for you to accrue a whole bunch of debt and never to be able to get out of it. I'm still $50,000 in student loans. I'm just keeping my head above water, okay? So I kind of understand what she's saying, but at the same time, he got a lot of stuff going on in his mind and you're just talking and talking. They showed like 17 different scenes and Gemma was still talking and talking and talking. Y'all tell me what y'all feel about that. Do you think that college is a scam? Do you think we no longer need that because it's better to work for yourself? I mean, there are some people who don't want to work for themselves. There are some people who love a corporate setting, or there are some people who do want to obtain a degree to do something other than be an entrepreneur. So I can see both sides of the coin. So y'all let me know how y'all feel down below. Okay, but he just wants her to hush her mouth because she's getting on his nerves. He just wants to find Jake and get back to that old thing when him, Papa, and Jake used to hang out, okay? And I kind of missed that time too because this is just becoming a little bit too much. Jake in the restroom getting a little QT with his little friend, okay? And then we see Emmett and Darnell walking through the thrift store, right? They run into Keisha. Y'all know Darnell gonna have his Bluetooth child talking to somebody. Oh my God. Darnell talk on the phone more than the telephone operator. So he walking through the store, they run into Keisha. He gonna ask Keisha, you think you could hook us up with an employee discount? In a thrift store, the shirt is 50 cents. What do you want it for? A nickel? Darnell, if you don't go on, honey. So she directs him over there so she can talk to Emmett by herself, right? So Emmett was like, she's like, what's wrong? He's like, nothing. I already know what I got to do. And she was like, so what do you have to do? He was like, I need to tell her the truth. And she was like, well, I've been told you that. I mean, you should have told her the truth a long time ago. So then he said, well, how are you, like, for real? And she said, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. Let me tell y'all something. Am I wrong for one? I know he married and everything, and he done got together with Tiff, and they are making a go of it. We never see the baby no more. Child, where's the baby? Okay. But I really want Emmett and Keisha to be together. Like, they just have such chemistry. From season 1, when she was hiding under his bed, when Jada came in, honey, when the shower was organic, okay? And she was hiding under that bed, and she first told Jada her name, and Emmett was sneaking her in, spraying cologne, trying to get rid of the sex smell. Child, until now. Okay, I was a little disappointed in him because I feel like he didn't really go hard enough to look for her when she was being trapped and raped in that abandoned house. I really feel like he should have went a little harder on that in season 3. But every time I see the two of them together, I just think their chemistry is awesome. So, I mean, I low-key want them to get back together. Over at one of her customers' house, honey, okay, Tiff is making a drop. Now, she been eyeing him since last season. And I thought it was going to pop off last season, but it didn't, okay? So, he asking her how his married life. And she's like, oh, it's cool. And he was like, well, you looking like you bored. And she was like, well, we've been through so much stuff, I'll take bored, okay? But the way y'all looking at each other, honey, let me find out you about to even the score and we don't know. Let me find out, okay? So anyway, he looking at her like he want to do something. She looking at him like she want to do something. Ain't nothing being done. Okay. Then we see Douda, he's having a press conference and tells them he's tired of them acting like our lives don't matter. He said he has decided to defund the police. Child, Rosalind looking at him like, are you serious? We didn't even discuss this. Are you serious? On the other side, Papa is still holding on to hope that Van Jones was coming. He was like, man, I really thought he was coming. It just goes to show all skin folk ain't kin folk. Oh, Papa. I just love Papa's characters. My favorite characters on the show are Emmett, even though he a trash box honey. He for the streets, but I still like him. I like Emmett, Darnell, and Papa. Those are my three favorite characters. Child, them 300, they are a mess. It's just too much. Papa's so sweet. So he's still holding on to the fact that he's coming, okay? And while Maisha, she looking like, child, he's not coming, okay? And then she was like, well, it says he over there with Jada and them on a red table talk. So that's why he's not coming. And so then Papa was like, well, you know, one day maybe he'll make his way over here. Yeah, once he get out of that entanglement, then he'll be over there where you at, honey. Darnell over there hunching on his wife, okay, and hearing his daddy's voice in his head, saying all kinds of stuff. He hears dad and he starts talking out loud, right? So Tiff is like, get off me. You have been acting funny ever since we got married. Like, are you having regrets? Like, what's happening? So, baby, he just up and says, look, I screwed Dominique. Child, listen, she just got up and she left. Child, she going straight to old dude house. You hear me? And listen, she didn't get mad. See, that's when you know something ain't right. When they don't get mad and start tearing you up and clawing and scratching your eyes out, honey, and throwing all the furniture around only to put the furniture back because this is your place as well, then that means they are not really worried and something ain't right. Okay? But child, she just got up, politely put her clothes on as he's standing there waiting on her to come back in and go off, and she left the house. Child. Woo. At Trig house, they throwing a welcome home party. Imani pulled Trig to the side and she's like, listen, you need to tell your friend that he's gonna be too drunk to make it home. And he's like, oh yeah, he's gonna be staying here because he did a bid for me. Child, Imani is not feeling that new house guest, and the way Jason was looking at her all up and through, I don't know what his name's gonna be. I think his name was Rashad or Sean. It was one of them. But anyway, he was looking at Imani like he wanted a piece of that, okay? So that might be a little trouble. I think I see a little trouble in paradise brewing. I think they might fill out her character a little bit more this season. That's what I'm seeing, okay? So at the high school reunion, we see Jada and her boo dressed like that 70s show. And then she sees an old rival, right? That tells her, listen, we decided we weren't doing the Coolie High theme anymore. And she's like, well, Darnell didn't tell me. He said we were still doing it. Honey, Darnell was talking on that Bluetooth and he didn't call you, okay? They ain't doing it no more. So then the friend recognizes Slade, okay, for giving her a massage. And she's like, how do you know her? And he's like, oh, I used to give her a massage. She was like, he gave me more than that. See, you should have left him at home, honey. He a little gigolo. Child, you should have left that boy at the house, child. Kevin's still playing on this game, okay, because he was playing those guys over at the university, right? So, and he taking them to the cleaners, taking all their money. So then they're like, he's smoking a vape, right? So then they said, have you ever done blow? He's like, nah, I've never done that. He's like, yeah, just try it. So then he gives in to the peer pressure, so easily influenced, and he did it. Child, where's the HBCU? Honey, we couldn't have took them to one of them. This is not making no sense. Like, child, where? Okay. That y'all couldn't have took them to Grambling? I mean, I know that's a far cry from Chicago, but honey, ain't no HBCUs up and through the Chi. Child, I was just trying to figure out how this was going. So Kevin comes walking up the stairs, throwing up. Gemma's looking at him as well as one of their chaperones, trying to figure out, like, what is going on with you? Are you drunk? And next thing you know, we go over and we see Maisha and Papa getting the podcast popping, okay? And Maisha drops a freestyle, straight cipher style. Do y'all hear me, honey? I was like, okay, Kendra Lamar. You better give it to him. Yes, ma'am. But let me tell you something, Lena. Please do not turn the Chi into Empire. I don't want to hear a whole bunch. Now, y'all know I love a good song break up and through my reviews. But I don't want to hear a whole bunch of kids starting to sing and dance and tap dance and whatnot and then making it big. I don't mind that formula, but that's not what the Chi is. So I don't want us to get the storylines and the shows mixed up. Okay, this is not Star. This is not Empire. This is the Chi. And I want to keep it that way. So the reunion popping, okay? And her mom and Emmett's mom is asking Slade what his intentions are with Jada, right? So he's like, I want to give her the world. She's like, I don't even think she wants the world. I just think she wants somebody to grow old with. And he was like, oh, I'm willing to do that as well. Okay, so now Tiff is on her way to do another type of drop off, okay? And we see her slowly walking down this hallway, and I already knew what time it was. Child, he opened that door, and now they finna get it popping. Child, score Emmett 1, Tiff 100. But Tiff, did you wash your whatnots? Honey, you was just laying down with your husband, busting it wide open. Now you finna go over here with him? Oh, girl, honey, that's a recipe for bacterial vaginosis. I'm just saying. We see the cops attacking Trig's cousin, right? Because he's walking out of the corner store. Now, I don't really know if this was his cousin or not, but I feel like a part of me feels like he said that just so the cops would get off of him. And a part of me feels like that might have been his cousin, but I don't know. Okay, so he comes out. He sees the cops attacking the man. He's like, get off of him. That's my cousin. Everybody knows he wouldn't hurt a fly. He's the best person around this neighborhood. He's doing all this talking. Then he pulls out his cell phone, right? So he starts recording it, and so does everyone else around him, because he's like, everybody pull out y'all phones. And he asks the cops, he's like, do y'all want to be famous? And the cops like, listen, we don't want no problem. So he asked him if he could take him home. And he said, listen, if I see him again, I'm arresting him. And then the cops walk off. That's nice. Okay. And I wish that was real life. But we all know the cops not going to back down because y'all recording. They're going to continue to attack. And then they might attack you and take your video footage. We all know that's how it goes. And sometimes they kill you on camera. So I was happy that they let this one go. Okay. Because I don't know how much of that I could have took. Because it's already a lot going on up and through all the storylines and things for us to keep up with. So I'm kind of happy that they just let that part of it go. Because it was, child. Kevin comes home after Keisha picks him up from being on the college tour, and he's throwing up everywhere. And Keisha was like, listen, I was supposed to be at school right now. Okay, I was supposed to be getting to experience what you are touring to experience, and you're throwing up. She was like, I'm going to keep your secret, but you owe me. That's the problem right there. Y'all always keeping secrets. That's how you ended up getting in that situation, because he didn't say to you, listen, I'm going to tell mom that you're leaving. You're keeping his secret. He was keeping your secrets, and your mama's somewhere off in La La Land because she never knows what's going on. It's just a mess. So now the block is hot, right? After Douda defunded the police. Rosalind tells him he messed up. Hush, Candy, honey. So she's telling him he messed up. Over on the other side, Jada is over there getting felt up, and then the masseuse finds a lump, right? Now this part I had to take a moment of silence, because last year I found a lump in my breast, and my breasts have always been lumpy or had cysts or whatever. But when I went to have my mammogram, which they told me I should wait until 40, but let me tell you something, I'm not going to let these people kill me. I will lie and make up anything I need to make up in order to get the test and the care that I need. I do have people in my family that do have breast cancer, but that's beside the point. I found something that was wrong, and I decided, you know what, I'm not going to wait until I'm 40 for you to tell me I have stage 4 breast cancer. I'm going to make sure that I'm aware of what's going on with my body right now. So I had a mammogram. Things came back abnormal. I had a biopsy. Everything came back benign. Thank you, Jesus. So y'all please keep me in your prayers, okay, out there in YouTube land. So now I have to go in every 6 months to make sure that everything is everything. And I know that everything will be fine because I speak nothing but positivity and light over my situation, okay? But anyway, he found a lump. And so she's like, well, I get it checked out every year. Y'all better take those lumps seriously. Let me tell you something. If you feel anything, you need to go have it checked, okay? Right away. Do not wait a day. A day can, the difference with a lump, the difference a day makes is life or death. And that's for real. So she's like, I'm going to get it checked out, right? So then we see Tiff waking up at the customer's house, okay, while Emmett's sitting at home waiting by the window. Ooh, my, how the tables have turned. Keisha's getting an ultrasound, and then we hear the heartbeat, right? And I see a little tear coming from her eye. I really, truly think that Keisha is going to end up keeping this baby. I do not think that she's going to give it up for adoption, just the way she's starting to bond with it. And I feel like she's going to want something to call her own, especially since she was unable to go to college. I just don't know. I see her storyline going in a different direction, but y'all can tell me if I'm wrong down in the comments below. Jada finds out she's going to need a biopsy because she has cancer. Lord have mercy. Child, this show is taking every stereotypical turn it can take. And let me tell you something, I was confused about this because she says she's been getting ultrasounds and mammograms every year, right? Well, if that's the case and they felt this lump, they never felt the need to do a biopsy? Like, she's like, that lump has been there. That's what she told the masseuse. So if the lump has been there, if you had the right kind of doctor, see, that's what I'm saying, honey. You have to advocate for yourself, because they tried to pull that little stunt with me. Like, oh, no, you're fine. No, I'm not fine. It's a lump and I want it checked. I don't care how much it costs. I want it checked out. Okay, I have to be here for me and mine. I ain't going nowhere until God says it's time to go somewhere. Okay, and the sooner you catch it, the sooner that you can be okay. Okay, oh my goodness, it's just a mess. So in the end, Keisha hears the baby's heartbeat, and that was the end of the episode. Woo, child. I don't know. I don't know if I can continue, y'all. Let me tell you something. I'm an empath and I take in everything, even if it's scripted, even if it's reality, honey, even if it's anything. And this right here is taking me through all my feelings. I have to pray afterwards. I have to watch funny comedy shows and all kind of stuff just to get my mind back right. So, child, this was episode 2. Y'all tell me what y'all thought, if y'all were able to take a look at it, if y'all were able to watch it. Please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.